Okay, I have to look this way because now I'm looking at the screen. So you see me, and then you see Bridget below me. That's Death and Cake. You've seen her before in my streams, and you've heard her on my streams. This is our first episode of the Not So Creative podcast, where we are two Capricorns discussing anything and everything from anime, gaming, life, and dating. Today's very first episode is going to be about Stranger Things. A lot of it's going to be hitting on season 4, part 1, so there might be spoilers ahead. So this is your spoiler warning. Yep, this is our first one. So just bear with us as we might make mistakes along the way. But I wanted to start it off with making sure, again, this is about Stranger Things, and there are spoilers probably going to happen and speculations. So again, this is your warning. But we're going to start off really easily. I'm going to have Bridget go first, starting off with our favorite character and why in the series.
Ooh, okay. So, I really have to, because Billy, like, overall is my immediate go-to, but I don't have good reasons for why he is my favorite. Like, really, in honesty, it's just because he's cute. But, I really like One. Like, One has become my new favorite character, because, you know, I always love a good villain. Give me a good villain with a semi-decent backstory, and I'm here for it.
That's, I just watched his episode last night, so I actually know what he does now. Because obviously I had to catch up before today.
Did you end up actually finishing all of it?
Yes, I did. All the way to the ending scenes with the love, heartfelt moments and the cliffhangers and yeah. At least I watched it last night, so now I only have to wait till Friday.
Yeah. I think we started pretty much the day it came out. I think it took us like about 3 days to watch it all.
I was doing pretty well binging it, and then I took a break and just had those last 2 episodes to watch, which like I said, I'm glad I waited because now I don't have to wait anymore. Um, I also, it's hard because I hated Billy at first, but I do like him. Similar to, like, I like Eddie, and I liked him more at the beginning. And then as he
Yeah,
progressed, I thought Eddie got more like a
sorry.
pussy. No, you're good. I was thinking about what word I wanted to use.
Yeah.
Eddie was a lot cooler to me at the beginning, and then kind of like tapered off. But I still like him. I truly think Dustin is my favorite character, and I think it's because I also really like his actor, because his actor and Dustin seem supposedly like their personalities work really well with each other. And he's such a raw character. Like, he's not afraid to, like, you know, he's flipping people off and he uses swear words, and like that's what kids nowadays do. So like it really works. So I think Dustin's just like overall my comfort character and somebody that I really like.
I think definitely during this season, when at the end, when when the older kids were stuck in the upside down and they were in the with the light bright and everything like that, and he's like, when are like all of you guys going to actually finally listen to me? Because really, in honesty, yes, he's pretty much had it figured out the entire time. So yeah, he's a good favorite character to have for sure.
Well, for that, but then also like just seeing how much him and Susie are like similar and different in this, like they're both smart, and like that's why they're like, you know, the genius couple and whatnot. But like when they went to her house and she just was sassy too, like they both are sassy, like they're literally the boy and girl version of each other.
Yes, they are exactly the same person, just literally boyfriend and girlfriend. Yes.
And I like wish Susie didn't live so far away so she could like be more a part of the story.
Yeah.
But
But it was nice to actually like be able to physically see her this time and like get to see her weird family, which I couldn't tell in the entire time if those were like all of her actual siblings or if they're supposed to be foster siblings or what. Like it's I don't know, it's wild.
when I was watching with my friend, I was like, "Is she in a foster home?" Because I don't remember anything from like the earlier seasons. I like really should have watched them again. But they're like, no, her family's just really religious, so that's why they have a lot of kids. But the
Yeah,
kids,
I mean,
the kids gone wild.
yeah. I like it just it's funny to me that Susie's the only one that really seems to like stick with that. Like I really expected them to come to her home and it just to be super straight laced and everything like that. But I guess it makes it even funnier that like the rest of her family are just like psychos.
Yeah. But then you have Eden, who's the babysitter, who's not even related, but still off the rails to some extent. But I mean, I would be off the rails too if I had to babysit this family.
Yeah. Yeah, and she definitely gave what's her face from the Breakfast Club. I can't remember her name right now.
Anne or something?
I'm gonna look it up now.
You do that.
Yeah, you continue talking while I look this up.
But she seemed like she was more of a nanny figure, simply because the dad was still there.
Yeah, and he's like obviously not around because he's like in his room all the time.
Right. So I wonder, like, I'm curious as to like if they do use her as a nanny and like somebody that like just comes to the house and stays there. And they pay her really well.
Yeah, so her name was Allison. I thought
Oh,
you were close on there. It's been a minute since I've watched The Breakfast Club.
same, same. But I got the A right. I was on the right track.
Yes, that you were.
So we talked about it now with Dustin and Susie a little bit, but when it comes to romance between the characters, who are your favorite ships and your least favorite ships and people that you wish were together but aren't?
Mm. Well, I don't know, with this season with Jonathan and Nancy's like weird rocky relationship, like it's weird. I thought it was kind of unnecessary. Like, I mean, maybe there's somewhere that they're going with it, and maybe I'm just not seeing something. But I definitely feel like that kind of weird fissure in between the relationship. Like maybe it's because I've never done long distance relationships or anything like that. But it's definitely I didn't really see that coming, and I kind of didn't like it the entire time. I definitely don't like Nancy and Steve. Like I like them, but like I don't.
You
I
don't
don't
want
know.
to.
It's weird. Yeah, I'm weirdly on the fence. But then TikTok, lovely, lovely TikTok here, pointed some because they love to ship Eddie and Steve, and then also I just recently saw Robin and Nancy, and I was like, you know what? I could kind of see maybe even Robin and Nancy if they did that, just because like Robin's kind of this annoying like presence, but like they're slowly becoming more friends. But that's just all kind of like speculation stuff. But
I
yeah,
don't
no, I
I don't like
probably
Nancy.
the idea of Nancy and Steve back together is probably my least favorite thing.
Really. I I think the thing is at the beginning you're like, you know what? No, you want Nancy to be with Jonathan. Then all of a sudden they're with each other. And you're like, wait, no, I don't like her with Jonathan. Well, I don't like Nancy. So it's hard for me to ship Nancy with anybody. I do like Robin, and I was talking to my friend yesterday when I was watching it with her, and she's like, I don't really like Robin's character development. It kind of feels like it went in the opposite direction. Like season whatever, her first season, season 3 was her first season with us, right? Um,
Yeah.
she was super cool and quirky and fun. Now she's like a wuss. Like she's reverting. And I said, and my response to that was that it's because you're getting to know her more now. She probably puts up a wall at surface level. And now she's not like she's a little bit more timid and awkward versus like being more cool like she came off at first. Um,
Yeah, that and I feel like in her first experience in season 3, she was dealing with the human side of it because they were just dealing with like the Russians and like that part of it. She didn't really I don't at least I don't remember. Yeah, I should have rewatched the season
right?
2, but I don't remember her having to interact with any of the like monster like murder side of it. I think it was mostly just the mystery and the almost death. So now she's like really getting like people her age are like dying. So like yeah, I feel like all of them, especially like Eddie too. Like and that's part of like why he grew on me maybe a little bit is just because I realized that, he's just a kid and like he literally has now witnessed two people in his grade be murdered
Yep.
right in front of him. So yeah, that would definitely cause some definite trauma, and it's really surprising that like some of the younger kids like I don't know, 11 and Will are not okay.
No.
Mike is kind of okay. Dustin's okay, ish.
Well, and so when we're talking about Robin and all of them, like their character development, it's like in the moment because they're all scaredy cats. Because I would be too probably. When they were in the Upside Down, there was that moment with when they all like fell into each other and like Robin fell on top of Eddie, and then Nancy and Steve were over doing their own thing. I was like, Robin and Eddie would be really cute together in my eyes. I know she's gay, so like it would never happen. So like if she wasn't, or if she was bi, I would ship her with Eddie. But I want her to work out with Vicky, even if it was just like a first relationship, just so Robin would get some closure. so she
Yeah.
knows because like like you're just crushing on somebody you've never had the experience. So I do like Vicky. I thought it was cute their little interaction at the basketball game. Um, she likes boobies, so it's fine.
Yeah, movies. That whole moment, like that moment with Steve and Robin. I love Steve and, and Robin as like a friend group. Like they
Yeah.
are just amazing together.
Yeah, I rewatched the scene where like Steve confessed to her, and I get like I would probably have shipped them back then too, but like as soon as like she was like I don't like guys. I was like, yeah, they're really good office friends. Like they're the best friends, like two peas in a pod kind of like friends. And have you seen the tweets that are like, we need a sitcom spin off of these two working at different
Yes.
jobs?
And then again at the end of every episode they get fired and the whole point is that they have to find another job. Yeah, no, that would I would watch the crap out of that.
Right. I think I bet you they could do like a short series like that or even like joking scenes or something, but I doubt they
Yeah.
will.
Yeah. Too bad the show's not going to go on forever because they could just keep doing that in the background, but
They've already done it once. Maybe they'll do it again at the end of season 4.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they've even referenced if this will be the last or because the kids are getting older.
Well, they're yeah, because they were talking about a possible time skip, which means that they probably would have a different job.
Well, I mean, hey, look forward to that.
Yeah. So now this is gonna be a little bit harder because it's gonna be all verbal, but like we're gonna rank our favorite characters in the small groups that I made.
Yeah.
So the main characters being Dustin, Will, 11, Max, Lucas, and Mike. Least favorite first.
Like right now or
Overall.
okay. Overall. Probably least favorite would be Mike.
Same.
Just cause like and it's not even that I don't like him, it's just out of the group. He is
He's the
I
worst
don't know.
friend. Worst friend. He's the worst
Yeah,
friend.
the worst friend. And then I feel like Lucas comes next
Yep,
in
yep.
my
Same.
just because of not only this season, like I understand peer pressure, you want to fit in and you don't want to be seen as a loser, but when a group of people are literally talking about murdering somebody, like okay, maybe not talking about murdering somebody, but talking about hurting somebody possibly, you would I feel like he should have bucked up a little bit faster, but um then after that would probably be ooh, I don't want to say Will because he's been through so much. And, like, I get that. Mm, I don't know. I feel because like right now I'm rooting for 11. Like I feel like I want to say 11 is my number one just because I'm rooting for her to like take back what's hers and
Hmm.
like finally get a chance to like put a middle finger up to everyone, but that's yet to be seen where this goes with all of that.
True.
But I don't know, between Will, Max, and 11, like all of them this season, like I've really felt have had their moments, especially Max. Like I would probably put Max at least at one or two as well. So Will, I would have to say is number three.
Okay, my third is 11. I don't like it's not that I don't like her. I think I don't like how she handled the situation with Mike. I get that she was upset and stuff. Um, but then pretending to be friends with people and like lying in her like loan. She didn't have to even say she had friends. She just could have ignored the subject and just chose to lie instead, and then kind of betray Will when he's there to be like her friend and brother technically.
True. True. Now that you remind me of that, I agree. And I feel like I'd have to put 11 down to number three then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 4. Who's it gonna be? We got
For me?
Lucas. Yeah, we
Oh.
got Mike, Lucas. I have 11.
I already said, I thought I did.
Oh,
I said, oh, I forgot Dustin. That's who I forgot.
you did. So it's right now. It's for both of us was Mike. Oh, geez,
Okay.
Mike, Lucas,
So
11 for me.
we'll say for me 11. Okay, we'll say okay. For me, mine in actual order would go. Who did I say was last? Mike.
Mike.
Okay,
Yep.
so Mike, Lucas. So from five or what? How many? One, two, three, four,
There's
five,
6.
6. I can. I am okay. 6.
So number 6 is
Yeah.
Mike.
Number 6 is Mike. Yes, correct. Fine. And then number
5.
5 would be Lucas, and then 4 would be
11 for me.
yeah. I'm not. Yeah. I can't not agree with that. Okay. Number. Yeah. I agree with that. And
Number
then
3, I have Will.
3. I'll take Will for 3. Dusty is 2 for me, and Max is number 1.
I am having problems with them too because I really, really like Max, but I think I would flip them and have Dusty as number 1 and Max as number 2. Simply because again, at the beginning of the season, she handled things differently than she probably should have and didn't trust her friends. Granted, Lucas was being a dickhole, but like, she still should have relied on them more.
And she lost her brother.
I know, and she's handling depression in her own way. I understand that. That's why Dustin doesn't have any problems. Dustin doesn't have any problems right now.
Yeah.
No trauma.
My only trauma from Dustin is his cat being eaten by
The Demogorgon or the dogs.
yeah. What did they call him? Darwin. That's what they called him.
How do you remember
Dart.
that?
Dart. How do I remember that? Because I just remember Dustin being like, it was short for Darwinism, you know, because like evolution. I'm a science nerd. I don't
know.
know.
Okay, so the next one are the older kids, which there are 6 of them as well. Nancy, Robin, Steve, Jonathan, Eddie, and Billy.
Okay. So number 6 for me.
Nancy.
Number 6 for me, probably. Yeah, I'd have to agree, Nancy.
Sorry,
Not because
Nancy.
not because she's done anything, but just because she hasn't done anything. Like she's done things, but she also like I feel like this is her first season where she's standing on her own and she's not having Jonathan with her and she's not having like a secondary character to kind of support her. So I feel like we're getting a little bit different version of Nancy. Um so that's why I feel like I'm on a little on the fence about it, but that's the only reason why. But next after that would
Do
probably be
Do you want to hear why I don't like Nancy?
yeah, go ahead.
So, for this season specifically, like we got to see a little bit of her girl boss at the beginning. And of course, Jonathan and Nancy are both to blame for this, but their lack of communication and her original drive for him to go to the same college, and then her saying, "I don't want him to go to the same college," and the fact that she hated Robin or, was shitty towards her for absolutely no reason other than the fact that we all know she's jealous because she's really close with Steve, even though she won't admit it, and the fact that she's having feelings for Steve when she's still dating Jonathan instead of telling Jonathan to fuck off or instead of telling Steve to fuck off because she's in a relationship with Jonathan and letting Steve be nice to her and blah, blah, blah. She's two-timing her boyfriend without telling her boyfriend that she's two-timing him, and yeah, that's why I don't like Nancy.
You just went, what? You were like, I have all these reasons.
Yep, and that leaves Jonathan at number 5.
Yes, I was gonna say Jonathan's definitely next for me.
Which
and then
I did like him. Like, obviously he stood up for his brother and liked his family ties. So it's not that I don't like Jonathan, but again, the communication is what's making me really just
yeah. For me, communication has never been a thing. I don't know. I'm just very, very about things. So
yeah,
I don't know. So yeah, no, I understand that, Fred, because I was very frustrated during the entire time watching that too. I was like, that's why I just felt like their breaking up was like so unnecessary, but like I said, or not really breaking up, but like almost breaking up, is just because, and like I said, I don't know what it's like to do long distance relationships. That, and they're both going off to college, and I just feel like I wasn't in a relationship in high school, and I just know that like I feel like that's a big divide, especially if you're wanting to go to very different places.
I did long distance when I was in Florida, and my boyfriend was up in Wisconsin. And I think the thing is he wasn't good at communicating, so he would never want to talk on the phone. He never wanted to come visit, and it was very one sided. So like that's what makes it hard. Of course, they're in a different time era where cell phones and stuff don't exist. So I
Yeah,
can't
that's
even
true.
imagine. Yeah, I can't even imagine trying to do long distance back then.
Yeah. Like, cause even 11 and Mike, like that's obvious. Like even that's a thing, and they're like kids, you know.
Yeah,
So
they just
like,
write letters and he doesn't say love.
yeah, which that's a whole nother conversation. That I could go down a whole long tangent about that whole conversation that 11 and Mike had. But so you said 6 was Nancy, 5 is Jonathan,
Yep.
4 would have to be for me, Eddie.
And I think mine's gonna be Billy. And it's again, not that I don't like Billy. We don't get him anymore. He's gone.
He's gone
Yeah.
for now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still think Graves.
My number 4 would probably be Eddie. So,
Gotcha. So yeah, after that would probably be,
or 3. 3 would be Eddie. Wait.
yeah, number 3 for me
Yeah.
would be Robin.
I think she's my
And
number
then
2.
yeah, and then Steve is my number 2, and then Billy is my number 1.
And Steve's my number 1.
I
Of the
do.
big kids.
I love Mom Steve. Like he is the best mom dad like the kids could ever have, and I love every second of when he's around all the kids.
You mean Batman?
Yes, Batman.
And Robin.
Yep, he is Batman, and he's adopted all of his little Robins.
Yep. I think it's wild that Steve is 30. And he's playing like a 19-year-old.
I did not. I think I did look that up. I think I did look up their ages the other day.
When they
Like when I
talk
first started watching it.
when they talked about his hairy chest, I thought it was the funniest thing. Cuz like obviously that's literally his chest,
Yes.
and they're like pulling like they're they're pulling like jabs at him on his like
Yeah.
naturally hairy chest.
Well, that and it was just kind of jarring for me for a second because I just did not picture Steve with a hairy chest like that hairy. But it just kind of, I don't know. After seeing Billy's smoothness, I was not expecting Steve to be a big Sasquatchian man.
Oh, a bear man.
Bear man. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing against it. To
No.
each their own. You know?
Yeah. I just like
But
I like when Max took the binoculars and just stood there.
she's like, oh, wow. Yeah.
Yep. So we have for me Nancy, Jonathan, Billy, Eddie, Robin, Steve.
Robin, Steve.
Yep. And then I only had 3 main adults, which was Hopper, Joyce, and Murray. Honestly, I like Hopper the most, then Murray, then Joyce.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, the parent side of me kicked in when I was like, Joyce, you literally left your 4 children home alone to go to Russia where, the United States had just like had a big tussle with them. Like, I I I get where she was coming from, like in the sense that Jonathan could definitely take care of them, and she didn't expect like, the US government to show up to her house and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna kill your adopted child."
Yeah.
Um, but it's like obviously things could have gone wrong and they did go wrong, and I'm like, these are your children. Like, dude, like what are you doing? But
They
at the same
survived the
time,
upside down.
yeah. But at the same time, I'm glad that she is that wild and willing to go get Hopper. But yeah, Hopper this season. Oh, Hopper this season. actually almost made me cry with his conversation with the Russian guard that about the what they're during the Vietnam War when they did what is it called? Was that Agent Orange? Whatever. Well, not whatever. But anyways, when they did all that chemical warfare and just like that and how it like affected him and then affected his child, like that, I was like, oof.
Oof. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Hopper.
Sorry, Hopper. Sorry. But I feel like for me it's probably yeah, Hopper like Joyce Murray Hopper. I don't know. Murray and Hopper kind of compete. I just love Murray. Murray during season 3 with Alexi. Some of my favorite scenes. I miss Alexi.
I need to go back and rewatch all of the seasons because I don't remember anything.
Yeah. I remember season 3 pretty well. Season 2 is kind of a little bit of blur. Season 1 is still a little bit of a blur, like the minute details, like when Eleven's like when Papa came back, like that. I was trying to remember where they left off.
I don't remember where he came back or the other older man came back. I saw him and I was like, who's this?
Yeah.
And then it all connected, obviously, once I saw them all and their backstories. So, whoops. The last group is the important other younger characters. So, not like the parents or anything like that. And that's Barb, Argyle, Eden, Jason, Susie, Erica, and number 1.
You have to remind me who Jason is.
The blonde basketball player.
Oh, the one that's out to kill Eddie.
Yes, the one leading the revolution.
Ah, that makes sense. I
Yep.
don't like him.
Yep. He is my number. How many are there? 6 again?
Like,
Nope, 7. Number 7.
I would agree. I would agree with that.
Yeah, Jason's number 7. And then Erica was really pissing me off in the episode when the police came. Like, Erica, just shut up. But
Yeah.
I think I'm going to give number 6 to Barb.
He didn't even have a chance.
That would be why.
Barb didn't even have a chance. You know, I feel for Barb because I was Barb when I was younger, okay? All of my friends were getting some, and I was out alone near the pool, almost getting attacked by a demon monster, okay?
Okay. Then who's your number 6?
Eden, just because I don't know her.
I still like her personality. She's going to be my number 5.
I'll give Barb number 5.
Okay. And then I'm going to go with Argyle next. As number 4.
I would say...
No, that's a lie. Erica's going to be number 4.
I was gonna say, I was like, mine is Erica. Like, my number 4 would definitely be Erica.
Yeah, so number 3 would be Argyle for me.
Yeah, number 3. Yeah, I agree with that. Wait, who's number... Am I missing? Oh, okay. No, I would actually say number 3 for me is Susie.
She's going to be, I think, my number 1. I think Susie be the number 1, and then number 1 is number 2.
Number 1 is number 1 for me, and Argyle's number 2.
Yeah, I like number 1, and I think his backstory is really fleshed out in his character development / regression, because we technically get a regression of his character, seeing him and then seeing what he became. But Susie, I just like their song in season 3, and like she's a really good singer, and she's very smart, and she holds her ground, and then I think it's funny that she like cheated for Dusty and then felt like she sinned when she changed his scores. But no, I think Susie is my number 1 out of these side characters.
Yeah. I felt for Dustin in those Latin grades. I took Latin in high school. It's rough.
I did not take Latin in high school.
It was the options were Latin, Spanish, or American Sign Language, and I had taken Spanish all throughout grade school.
I would have taken ASL. I wish we had that offered.
Yeah, I do see the more practical effect of ASL, but you know, I'm a goth kid at heart. Have to do the dead language.
That's fair. I mean, it does help with basics of other languages, so
It does. It has helped me because I've been learning French, so French has helped just a little bit.
a little bit. So the next one, I actually was inspired by rewatching. Well, no, when I was watching last night, it flashed back to the Rainbow Room. So if you were in the Rainbow Room, what game would you want to be playing?
I have to remember. I know there was the little Plinko machine that
That 11 was playing.
11 was playing. What other games were there?
So, well, mine, because at first, when I first saw the Rainbow Room in this season, I saw the cars going along the rainbow on the ground, and I was like, how are they staying in track? And then I realized what was going on. So that's what I would be doing, is like, I'd be controlling the cars with my mind and racing them around the room on the rainbow. They also had the top spinners, chess. They also had, what else? Oh my god, now I'm blanking. There's something else on the table. I think you can roll dice and flip them to the side, or roll something and flip them to the side. So I guess any of those. That's like 5
Uh,
options.
yeah. I agree with you. I would definitely do the race car thing, but it would probably be more like a demolition derby in my case, because I would want like monster trucks, and then I'd want to be able to just.
Well, I'm wondering if you could like take the building blocks and like build ramps and like loops and stuff, and then drive your car along that stuff.
It'd be even cooler if you had a kid that was like floating them, and then like you like could literally do stuff like up in here. That would be cool too.
Can they float things like that? I guess you can float a human, so why can't they float a car?
Yeah. I mean, they seem to all have like essentially baseline telekinetic abilities.
What is the basics of their like? What are their powers doing?
I feel like it's just manipulating like the world energy to like yeah, I feel like it's just this ability to manipulate this some type of energy that flows throughout the world because like they have the electricity test where they're trying to make
Light bulb.
and obviously like electricity is like a big thing that affects it and if their powers are coming from the upside down then I feel like I don't know.
Well, so why don't we go to that where how, why, and what is the upside down? And I know we don't have specific answers, besides the fact that 11 opened this portal, and Dustin's theory, I believe it was Dustin's theory, was that since 11 opened it, the upside down had always existed, but the Earth had never been, like, introduced to it until one got shot through it, and that's where it got its picture of Hawkins. And then when Will got kidnapped, because when they went through, it was the same year that the day he like not kidnapped but like fell through. That's when Vecna could get a new mapping and remapped Hawkins to that day.
That makes a lot of sense and yeah, I definitely agree with that. It's just yeah, because especially with one's origin now we know, or Vecna's origin we now know came from Hawkins, and if he was the first, being to be able to cross over into that thing, then yeah, he'd be able to do that, and then yeah, Will would essentially be a new updated upload of what's going on. And if you think about it, if he's able to understand like the Mind Flayer is able to understand like how our world works, and especially if Russia's been poking at it, like, you know, I feel like at that point nuclear warfare has, already been tiptoed around, so who's to say that the Mind Flayer just doesn't want, realizes that our world could be easily like, torn apart
And manipulated.
hmm
So when I was watching it and you see one push through and he transforms because the electricity goes through him, why is it affecting my original question to myself was why did it affect him but nobody else that entered the upside down? And then I'm like, maybe it's because they knew he had powers. But that leads to the question, if 11 went into the upside down, would she also be affected like one was?
I just realized that my I was listening to you, but I was also reading. But I just realized I was wrong earlier about what I said about Dart. It wasn't because of Darwinism. It was because of D'Artagnan from the Three
Oh,
Musketeers.
oh well. We had a
To
correction.
clarify that, so I don't sound like a stupid person. Um, yeah, no, that I really, in all honesty, have no clue. I don't. I that's the only thing I can think is that because it was the first introduction of a person and a person with power. And that's why he transformed. I don't know. I feel like the mind flayer like saw something and like I don't know because we don't really understand what the mind flayer even is anyways. Like at least
True.
I don't. Like I don't really like understand that completely.
Because now they're saying that he is the controller, with the 5-star general being Vecna, and the random guards being the demon dogs and the Demogorgon. So like those are just his foot soldiers.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
I get that. I get that
but
part of
what
it.
I don't, it's weird though because Vecna is like, even if he is a 5-star sergeant, he seems like he is the heart of the Upside Down, only because, like they said, it's a hive mind, and the hive is connected to him. So why? So is he just the heart and not the brain? Because that's kind of what it's seeming, or he's the brain and not the heart, I guess.
Yeah, that's what it feels like to me. And he's the only being that at this point we've had that has had full like sentience and being able to speak because like originally yeah the demogorgons were just they're mindless dog things that just literally were eating everything and then the next they stepped it up with something a little bit more crafty but now you have this fully like humanoid being that understands not only how humans work but now also understands how the upside down works.
Right. And the fact, which I think is kind of weird, is that the Demogorgon was scared of fire, but I want to know why and how he was introduced to the fire. Because in the Upside Down, there's no fire.
Maybe that's why because it's never experienced fire it's like
I
I
guess.
don't like it.
Right, because there's no electricity, light, or anything like that besides the lightning that's red in the Upside Down. So,
Which I mean, lightning does cause fire, but I guess if you don't have any like organic burnable, well, I don't know. That's going into the science logic side of things,
I don't
like
think
how
that
wonder
I
works.
don't think that, because the electricity is controlled, like it's shot down, or just in the
Yeah,
sky. I don't think there's actual strikes unless they were like fighting or something. I don't think that there is fire in the Upside Down.
gotcha, gotcha.
So if you were captured by Vecna and pulled into the Upside Down, what would your release song be? I know we've talked about this before, and you didn't really have an answer, or you did? I don't remember.
I think I had like a joke of an answer, and I couldn't remember what it was. But I think we joked that it would be your song, which would be so triggering for me that I would come back from, you know, Vecna's realms. But I guess if it was like a legitimate song, oh God, what really gets me going? What really fires me up right now? Hold on, let me pull up my Spotify.
Well, I think that's the problem, though, for me. Even it's like, yeah, I say that that's it because that is a song that I've liked for a very long time, and it's "All Star" by Smash Mouth. If you are in my streams often, you know that that is like my go-to song. But that's not like, it's not like my favorite song, but like it is in some weird way. Does that make sense?
Yes, like it would be I don't know, I just feel like it's a song that like causes a good emotion in you, at least in the sense of like Max's like case. Like it's not just like what's your favorite song? It's like for Beck or for I can't remember for one's dad. I can't remember his actual birth name. It was like he said like oh it sounded like angels and it was probably like a song that like had made him feel like happy and stuff because wasn't it Dream a Little Dream of Me or am I crazy? I might be crazy.
That sounds
I don't
familiar.
remember. I might be mixing that up with The Boys because me and Devin have been watching The Boys,
Ah,
which if you ever watch that, we should definitely do an episode about that. But uh, yeah, so I just feel like it has to be something that like I don't know, that's something that would be like, hey, wake up, like I don't know, keep running up that hill.
well, it's hard because like, I guess she has that emotion. It could also just be that that song's emotionally connected to her right now, because now if this happened before Billy, which I mean she wouldn't be in the position that she was anyways, but I
Yeah.
don't, I mean her song wouldn't have been that song. So,
So I feel like it's whatever song in the moment is like during like so I guess in that case, let me go through my playlist that I've been listening to a lot. Let me see what's
well,
been.
wouldn't it be a song that it indicts the happy and mad memories? Because he said it was a memory that would make you sad and angry, and that's what released Eleven's power. So wouldn't that kind of work for the song? Because then if you're thinking about Billy or Max's song for Billy, it is a sad and makes her angry moment.
That is very true. That is very true. Um, which I have a lot of songs that do that for me. Um, I don't know. It's just I would have to say, am I gonna be that person? Am I gonna say that it's probably Numb Little Bug, that song that like got famous on TikTok?
I don't know what song that is.
It's the one where it's like, do you ever get a little bit tired of life?
Oh yes.
You're not really happy, but you don't. Yeah, like
Yeah.
that song. That song makes me feel feelings.
I could see that being a parallel to that song "Running Up That Hill," or the whatever
Yeah,
it's called. Is that what it's called?
yeah, it's running up that hill.
I could see it being a parallel, like indicting similar emotions.
Yeah, either that or I was gonna say it was an Olivia Rodriguez song, but I can't remember which one, but it was a cover of it, like a rock
Oh,
cover. So that would be the only other thing
so not
that would
Olivia
make
Rodrigo herself, but the cover of it.
no, but like the lyrics to her song mixed with like a good guitar and drum backing, like I'm here for it.
Okay, okay. Just need to know just in case this happens.
Yes, thank you.
So now that not season two, part two of season four is coming out on Friday. What do we think is gonna happen? Where, because like we don't have a book, we don't have anything to go off of. I already
We
know. I
literally
already know Eddie plays the guitar.
I'm just hoping that he plays that, like everybody says he should play Crazy Train. Like I hope that he's playing Crazy Train. That's all I want. I think mm, I don't know because like there's a lot up in the air. There's so many moving pieces right now. But I definitely think that Eleven's gonna have to go back to Hawkins, obviously. Like she's gonna have to go back there and go toe to toe with Vecna. I think it'd be interesting to see her fight on on the upside down of things instead of on like to see if like maybe that would make her power stronger.
Hmm.
Um, but I just really don't I don't I haven't I'm just literally I'm not trying to predict anything.
Well,
Because
remember,
really, and honestly, me and Devin will get into arguments if we try to sit and predict things.
well,
Me and
Noah
each other.
Schnapp already spoiled saying there's gonna be deaths. Now I'm assuming he does mean deaths in part two. So my predictions with the deaths is gonna be Steve trying to save Nancy. I think that's gonna happen. Further down the road, I think because Nancy's still stuck. I think that I know Eddie's playing the guitar. I still think Steve's gonna do something stupid. That's just what I think. Um, I think that Eleven's gonna die. I think that there's somebody else that I think's gonna die. Who else do I think's gonna die? I think Papa's gonna die.
Hopefully.
Let me see. I'm gonna
Not
look
Sam.
at this list. I
Yeah, no, I will say throughout the whole season, I did get this feeling like I'm waiting for somebody to die, especially in that group of older teens.
right, like,
But I don't know.
would they kill one of the main six though?
That's why I feel like if they're gonna kill anybody, I feel like they would kill Eddie because Eddie had that one moment where he was like, I'm tired of being a coward. I'm tired of running, and that I'm not gonna run anymore. So I feel like he might, but you're right, Steve might at the last second, like instead might throw himself out there for whether it be Nancy or for the group. Um,
But of the main
overall.
kids, the chillin', do
I
you?
don't think they'll kill any of the Chillins. If they do kill any of the Chillins, they will. It would be 11. That's the only one I could see. Either that or Will. I don't know why, but I feel like I could see Will be the only other of the main cast to die.
Well, they were talking, or a lot of people are like, we need a lot more of Will than we do of Jason and blah blah blah. And I think Will didn't get a lot of screen time this season because I think he's going to get a lot of screen time in the future.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, because
hoping.
he, yeah, I just feel like you can't go to the upside down, come back from the upside down, puke up a slug, get, you know, infected by the mind flayer and not have some residual stuff going on. Somebody also said something about the posters for this year, which hold on, let me
Which was,
look at them.
that's where Mrs. Byers? No, that's Joyce. Mike's mom, the blonde one. She
Yeah.
is a main character poster, right?
Yeah, that and it's the fact that some people are looking off, but other people's are looking straight at the camera. So like Robin, Hopper, 11, Nancy, Will, Dustin, Steve, and Lucas are all looking at the camera while Max, Will, Joyce, yeah, only Maxwell and Joyce, or not Max, Mike, and Joyce, sorry, not Will, are the only ones not looking at the camera. But I don't know, that might just be a stylization choice.
Max. Well, Max got inflicted by Vecna. Mike was a dick. I don't know why the mama would be on there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like somebody said something about it, but I couldn't remember exactly what it was. But I know it had to do something with them. Oh yeah, okay, here's the rest of them. Okay, so Murray's also looking at the camera. Eddie, Argyle. Yeah, and Mrs. Wheeler. It's Mrs. Wheeler. That's her name. Mrs.
Yes, Mike
Wheeler.
Wheeler.
Mike Wheeler, Nancy Wheeler.
Well, that's, I don't know. I think that might be more of a style choice, or there's something else with how they're looking, because maybe they look like they're looking off, but if you rearrange the characters that are looking at somebody, I don't know. Like there's a lot of ways you can play with art, you know that. So, I mean, it's kind of impossible to say kind of what art means unless it's like you break it down and you know the mind behind the artist. And a lot of people like you speculate and you're like half right, and enough people speculating make something correct. But again, you don't know until they actually tell you.
Yeah, yeah. Like, and yeah, and it literally could just be a stylization choice that they just decided to do. I'm just now realizing also that the characters that are in Hawkins have the Vecna house, but the character and Hopper has like Russia, but then the characters that are in California also have a California little silhouette at the bottom.
Hmm. I just want them all to come together.
Yeah, I'm just how what do you think about the theory that like okay, so they say that like Vecna in the D&D lore is like the he's like the master of lies or something like that or hidden secrets or something. And this idea that somebody in the season has a really big secret. And like everybody thinks that the secret is that Will's gay.
Okay, one, I don't think
True.
that they would make that big of a deal out of it just for him being gay, in my opinion, against the theory. But I
Yeah,
think the secret's going to have to deal with Mrs. Wheeler. That's going to be her main character. Point.
really? You think so?
I think it's going to be with her. Well, because I know there was speculation somewhere along the lines that 11 was one's child, which I don't think is
Yeah.
true. But I think one and Mrs. Wheeler could have some connection, or Mrs. Wheeler could have some connection to somebody else, or I don't know. I think that it's not going to be that he's gay, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think it's the biggest secret, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like there are some hints there that it might be there that
But why would that be the secret for Vecna's thing?
no, I wasn't like I guess I shouldn't have implied that that was the like the big secret, but like that he is that Vecna does have that stipulation behind him and that you know that could be one of the things that in the next season that we'll see.
I don't know. I can't see it.
You can't you can't see it.
Not that I don't care. Like he can be, because I know like people were saying that he likes Mike, but I also think that it's one of those things where people are overreaching just because two boys are friends. Um,
Yeah, and I don't even feel like, yeah, and I don't, and that's why I don't like that, because like I don't like the idea of it being like him and Mike being a thing, but I don't know. I guess I could kind of see it a tiny bit, but I don't think it's a necessary plot point. I could definitely understand that people could definitely come out and be like, that was like totally unnecessary to Will's plot development.
right. Like he's already developed as a character, and like I feel like there's gonna be something with Will. I don't think it's gonna be that, and even if he does come out as gay, it's just gonna be some weird side thing that happens probably after the like some not weird, but like you know what I mean, some extra plot point that's gonna come out like when they do a time skip. He's gonna be dating a boy. I bet you that's how they would like announce it or something.
Yeah.
My camera's knocked over now. I hit my thing too hard. But yeah, so I don't know. I think it's weird. I think the D&D lore is super interesting. Like that's literally what the show is. It's like a D&D game because you've heard the theory that the whole show is a D&D game, right?
Yeah, because I think I saw that somebody said that the Duffer Brothers had like already written out the entire story, so they already know kind of where it's ending. And so it would be really cool if at the end of all of it, it was just, yeah, it was just a campaign like of all the kids when they're older. And it's like a campaign that's been going on for just years and
And
years.
then Billy's not actually dead.
And that who's not actually dead?
Billy, because it's just a campaign that the
Oh.
kids are that the group's playing,
I like this. I like this a lot. This should be the ending. This should
right?
be the actual ending.
Right. So like we could
And
see like a ton of
Is Billy just a
so
racist neighbor?
no, but like so like you see all the like we're gonna get a bunch of deaths and like a bunch of these characters are gonna die and they're gonna have the time skip, and the time skip is literally gonna be them playing this campaign and them leaving like winning or whatever they're doing, and then they walk outside and that's where everybody that died is. Hi Ed.
I want this ticket. If that's the case, they need to hire them to start writing D&D campaigns because this is a wild D&D campaign if that's the case.
Wouldn't that be cool though? Because I mean, think about it. All the kids would probably be playing. I mean, like I don't. It could be mixed in campaigns with mixed in with the actual school life and like
Yeah.
you didn't know when to differentiate it, but there was like some small film difference like when they were in the campaign. I don't know.
It would be very interesting, but I don't know how I feel about that ending as a whole though. Like I do like the idea, but I don't know, it'd be like, oh, it was all a dream.
I don't know. I think it'd be super interesting if this was a game. Because it would be a
It
dream.
would
It was just a game.
Yeah, but that's what I'm just like kind of equivalating it to. Because, like, I don't know, I've never been a fan of like the ending, like, twist is like, oh, it was all a dream, or oh, it was all in their head. But I guess D&D campaign is better than that because that actually takes some thought.
Right, but then like, you know, having the 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 Vecna being that main character that Eddie was talking about and all these other things, it's like super interesting and how they're gonna equate each character. It's like somebody's gonna be the bard and somebody like is gonna be this, like you know what I mean? Like Susie would be like the bard or the Dustin would be the bard because they sing and like what characters, which
Yeah.
person.
Yeah. Would I guess okay, that I feel like that's a good question though. Like I feel like how would you divide the groups into who's who? Because I feel like Eddie could also definitely be I don't know, would he be no. I mean, he definitely comes off as a bard just because I know he likes music, like and that he has a guitar and how much he loves his guitar.
True,
But Eddie.
as the bard.
Yeah, just like if you were to give each one of them a class, like
Well,
what
now
would you
I think you'd have to separate the characters from the big to the little. So like of the bigger
Yeah.
main characters, I think he would be the bard. I think that Steve would be the barbarian. I
Yeah, he
think
does like to pick up the the blunt object.
right. Well, and the cleric I think would be Nancy, who has magic, not really magic, but deduction skills and stuff like that. Um,
What would Robin be?
I'm trying to read all of the descriptions. There's a
Oh,
lot
are
of
you doing
there's
like
a
the
lot
D&D?
of them. Yeah. She
Because
could be
I
the
don't know.
rogue. Nancy could also be a rogue though.
That's what I was gonna actually originally gonna say was like I feel like maybe Nancy is a little bit more of a rogue in my opinion, but
Hmm.
hmm, I don't know. Of the younger kids, yeah, Dustin could definitely be a bard. Um,
Well, 11.
Will
What would 11 be?
don't they have their own classes? Don't they already have their own class? They should have
Let's
their
see.
own. Because I'm pretty sure Will was is a wizard or a sorcerer, one of the two.
So is this actually right? Let's see. Erica Sinclair is the cleric. Bob
Okay.
Newby is the paladin. I forgot about him.
So in
Mark.
the I found the original
Billy would be
of
the
the original.
barbarian. Oh, they have Robin as the bard. Sorry, I'm just reading off what I see here. Jonathan as the
Yeah.
monk. Nancy as the rogue. Steve as the
I have a
fighter.
list of what the cast actually was like in the final like when they actually played D&D with Max and 11.
Yeah.
Or maybe it wasn't. Maybe they were that was just when they were giving each other. But they list Mike as the paladin. Um Ooh, will you stop loading, please? So originally, Mike was the dungeon master, Will was a magic user, Lucas was a knight, and Dustin was a dwarf. But then when 11 and Max joined, Mike was a paladin, Will is a cleric, Lucas is a ranger, Dustin is a bard, 11 is a magic user, and Max is a zoomer, which I'm assuming is their own special class that they made.
Yeah, probably because she didn't really want to play, so they just made something up that would fit for her.
Yeah, it's not a class in D&D.
Well, I think Dustin as the bard is probably the most relatable for them.
Yeah. I feel like Will does fit the cleric kind of thing a little bit, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, especially when you think about the higher power, because he went to the other side.
True, true.
So, hmm. Yeah, that's kind of we kind of hit everything that we need to before next Friday. Besides the fact that I need to rewatch everything. Granted, it's just part two. How do you know how many episodes part two is supposed to be?
Ooh, hold on, let me see. Also, thank you for agreeing with me, Ed.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So the dream ending trope, it is a big of a letdown, but it's like it's like a catch 22 because you're gonna make people happy, but also like I literally just watched all this and went through all this like heart wrench for nothing.
Yeah. What?
After this next season, there won't be another one for 2 years.
Yep,
That's painful.
2024. That's why it's gonna be a time skip. I don't know.
Typing is really hard for me right now.
I think it's super interesting to see all these characters. I think it's gonna be what, another seven episodes? Maybe.
Wikipedia is only listing 2 more episodes.
That's what I saw, which I wasn't sure if that was right. I saw 8 and 9.
Like, no.
It says
Better
feature
be more than
length.
that.
It says feature length, so I'm wondering if they're longer.
Are you really? Oh yeah, they're just 2 episodes of season 4 remaining.
Yeah, I don't know why they spaced it out like this.
Blech. I don't like
So
it.
you'll be done with it on Friday.
Yeah. Watch it all in one sitting, pretty much.
Well, that is all of my Stranger Thing points. I don't know if you have anything else you want to hit on before this episode comes to an end.
Oh, no, I can't think of anything else besides the fact that Billy should have never died in the first place. That's it.
Well, Steve and Nancy shouldn't
And
have had
another.
sex, and Barb shouldn't have died, and Nancy shouldn't have gone off with Jonathan after she had sex with Steve, so there's that.
You're also not wrong there, and Robin should really, in all honesty, just sit down and try to talk to Vicky, but at the same time, I understand, like,
Especially in the
they're in
time
their.
that they're in.
Yeah, it's very hard. You can't just be like, hey, I like boobies. Do you like boobies?
I know, and that's
Can't
like,
just have the boobies conversation.
I like boobies. Steve likes boobies. Do you like boobies?
Boobies.
I
But I
used to
mean,
have.
Steve does have a valid point. Who pauses at that point in the movie?
I don't know what movie that was.
I can't remember the name of the movie, but yeah.
If you don't like boobies, why would you? Why would you pause it?
Where'd you pause it? That was the logic that my grandmother had anytime I watched a movie with slightly inappropriate things. If she came in and I was watching the scene that was slightly inappropriate, I was just watching that scene. That was her logic. Just that scene.
That's fair.
Never understand it.
Well, I think that there's a lot of things that could have gone better in the show, but obviously things wouldn't happen without them happening in the show, like Billy being an asshole. Uh, but that makes Billy as a character.
Yeah. I hate the whole give a character a redemption moment just for them to die, but whatever. I'm not a writer on a show.
Right. And I think the worst part of that though is that Max wanted to love her brother more and never got to show it. And that's why
Yeah.
it hits her so much.
Well, I'm glad we got to see, especially with Billy, like, and um, his the with the history with his mother and everything like that, and getting to see a little glimpse into like how he was before, and like showing that, he kind of it took him a minute, but he did care. It's just, he was literally dealing with being a teenager in a not so great household, moved halfway or moved all the way across the country pretty much, So it doesn't excuse some of his tendencies, but also, if you grow up in that environment, you're gonna pick up from stuff from your parents as well.
Right. Oh well, he's dead.
No. In my heart he lives.
I think the last thing though, I'm thinking this as we're going, is like Jonathan was such is should have been more of an important character than he is. Like, I don't even remember much of what Jonathan has done, but the fact that it was his brother that got taken and he started dating Nancy, I feel like I should remember him more than I do.
Yeah, I remember him pretty well, especially in season two, no, I guess it was season three was when they were doing all their investigating together. Because I feel like that was a big chunk of it, especially when they met up with Murray. Um, when they were and like that's the other thing that they've just never like I feel like they left open like the whole thing with the rats, and then like I don't, there's just a lot. I feel like there's a lot that they like started and then they didn't finish
Yet. They didn't finish it yet.
yet. But we've only got 2 episodes and then one more season that's like 5 years down the line.
But isn't it super interesting to think that like these like the last episode of season 4, part 1, was an hour and 40 minutes. That is the length of a movie. So the fact that like all of these episodes are literal movies that they're filming,
Yeah,
like that's wild.
it is. It is very wild. I just I need some of more of my favorite books to get turned into TV shows that are done this well.
Well, Stranger Things isn't a book though, right?
I know, but I'm just saying, like, I wish that book to TV shows, were that well done. More people need to hire them to do things or whatever, because they haven't figured out. But it really is a great like original like new story. Like nobody's like, I mean, you kind of see hints of like other films in it, but um it's definitely very original in the sense of this idea of a group of kids that having to deal with this and the way they separate the stories and divide it all up, especially this season since you've got so many people in so many different places.
Right.
So they are doing an amazing job for what they're doing. Are you moving
No. I don't know
your
what you're
finger?
talking about.
I
You
just like look up at the screen and I'm like, it's like.
you didn't even like redeem Bongo Cat or anything. I have all this stuff set up on my stream.
I'm sorry. Here, hold on. Let me.
I have my tip jar for when somebody follows me or subs or bits or whatever.
I redeemed something.
What? Why did you redeem that?
I redeemed something. There you go.
No. We're not playing D by D.
Yeah. No,
I have so many things.
I don't know. I clicked on something. What did I click on? Oh.
Cheers. I set up more point things. I was working hard.
There you go. I redeemed some things.
Okay, let me see. I heard, so the funny thing that I'm going to talk about when we get to the dating episode is jokes, because all these guys, like, tell dad jokes. And, like, every time I hear one, even if they're stupid, I'm like, I should write these down. But let me think of one. Oh, I guess I can tell, it's not really I don't want to know if I want to tell that one. Let me see if I have any written down that I haven't said. And yes, I do keep a running notes of my jokes. Don't judge me. Because I think it's important. Did I ever say, I think I did say this one, but you probably don't remember it. What does the clock do when it's hungry?
What does it do?
Go back 4 seconds.
Every time I like feel my soul slightly leave my body, but I enjoy it.
You know what sound alert I need to add to my stream? Badum.
The bottom fist.
Do I have it on there? I can't see my options right now.
Hold on, let me see. I only have 3 bits. I need to buy more bits.
If you buy bits, you can see things go in the tip jar that I set up.
Yeah, I know. I'm like really close to the camera. Hello.
Hello.
I'm blind. The screen is very small. Because I have like everything. Like I have like the Twitch here so I can see your face, and then I have the Discord underneath here so I can see myself in real time because I'm watching myself in a delay.
Yes.
It's fine. Someday I'll have a gaming computer and an actual setup and not just my laptop.
And it'll go smoother. It's fine. It was pretty good. I mean, we heard you. We can see you. They can still hear us and still see us.
That's fine.
Tip jar.
Tip jar. I do not see a
Badum. Okay, then I'll have to do that for next time so we have it.
Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from?
Cotton Eye Joe.
Cotton Eye Joe.
Is that one of my sounds?
Yeah. Well, I thought so. I don't know. Either that or I just came out of somewhere.
I don't remember. I can't see a list of my sounds. They just happen.
You do have badumtis. Okay, I'm blind.
Oh, I do have it. See, I'm smart. I'm prepared.
Yeah, no, I just thought I just made up Cotton Eye Joe out of nowhere.
I am prepared for all situations, Bridget.
My dog, for some reason, has decided to lay in the small, tiny space in between me and this wall. I don't know why.
To be enclosed and loved. Well,
she is ridiculous.
We can end the episode here, and we'll be back next Sunday with episode 2. We can always rewatch this, and I'll hate every second of it because I don't like listening to myself talk.
Ooh.
But
I don't like the faces that I make because I've already caught myself twice now being like
zoning out.
And I'm like, stop doing that.
But thanks to our 3 viewers, even though I know one is Bridget and one is Ed, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for chatting with us. Hopefully, we'll see you guys again next week, and it'll also be on YouTube eventually because it'll work next time because YouTube was being stupid. But until next time, friends, out.